When I put my uniform on, I'm ready to help someone on the worst day of their life.
Oh. It's the ambulance here, mate.
As soon as we arrive, they just know they're in safe hands and that we're going to do everything we can to help them.
Does that feel better? Yeah?
I wouldn't have guessed you were 104.
I genuinely think laughter is the best medicine.
Let's go. Teddy wants to go. You're very brave.
To know that you bring someone that's very unwell to hospital and they get better. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
I promise I'll look after you.
Second to God, these people.
Let's get you in the ambulance, eh?
I feel really proud to wear this uniform and I feel really proud to be a paramedic.
Also, what's going on up here?
An accident?
On this episode of Paramedics,
I'm going to level with you, mate.
a nightmare accident for a young motorcycle rider.
Can you feel your leg down here? If that was me, I'd be crying and screaming and he's just sitting there going, I think they're broken. I'm so in shock that I just go, yeah, they are.
Hello, darling. Can you open your eyes?
Nee faces one of the biggest tests of her paramedic career.
You're safe. It's okay. It's okay.
One thing Carlos doesn't know is that I've actually never attended someone that has had a massive opioid overdose. I am quite nervous about this job.
I have to give you a kiss goodbye.
Oh, you did?
And a surprising love story.
So how long have you been married to Betty?
I haven't.
A scandal.
SA Ambulance Service, what's the exact address of the emergency?
The Adelaide railway station. There is a lady passed out in the public toilet.
Okay, is she awake?
She has injected herself with something. It could be a potential overdose.
A worried railway officer is on the line.
Okay, I'm organising that help for you now. I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Paramedic partners, Carlos and Nee, get the call only minutes away from the busy Central City station.
So we got a priority 2 to a lady that's passed out in the public toilets, injected herself, potential overdose.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Given that if it's a small cubicle, maybe only one of us can actually fit in and actually get to her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's important to try to get 360 access to her.
100%, even that means dragging her out, so that we can get a bit of space on her.
Overdoses take the lives of more than 2,000 Australians a year. Heroin is the common killer.
So we've got another ICP car coming with us. So it's nice to have a good extra set of hands.
Overdoses can be very serious. It can cause people to shut down their airways, and also it can cause the heart to stop as well. So we just don't know what drug this person has taken and if it was multiple drugs.
In the female toilet, down the ramp, just turn left.
Turn left? Okay.
I just have a feeling we need the blue sheet. Just have a feeling.
So one thing Carlos doesn't know is that I've actually never attended someone that has had a massive opioid overdose. We train on mannequins and we train for worst case scenario, but actually to go to a real human that is having an overdose, my heart's definitely pumping. I am quite nervous about this job, but I know I have a job to do and I need to get in there and do it.
Hello. Hello. Hello, darling. Can you open your eyes?
Do you have any ID, like a name or anything like that?
All that stuff's here. The needles, everything.
The woman's condition is so precarious, her organs could be shutting down from the lack of oxygen.
It's actually not responding to pain.
Heroin is a super dangerous drug. It sometimes doesn't come in a pure form, so it's mixed with other drugs that cause other side effects as well. Heroin kills, and it kills quickly.
Good mates, Laura and Aaron, are now on their way, lights and sirens, to an elderly man having a very bad day.
Laura, we're going priority 2 to an 82-year-old male. His primary complaint is that he has difficulty urinating, constipated, trouble breathing, pale and weak.
Poor old fella's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Just like we're experiencing a lot of traffic. It's peak hour traffic, so there are just people everywhere and no one's really paying attention to what we're doing and they're just weaving in and out of the roads and getting in our way.
Oh, but you don't have to go that way and let me go this way.
Why did you just go across 3 lanes?
I can't. Should I?
But suddenly, their frustration is forgotten.
Also, what's going on up here?
An accident?
The signpost already there. There's someone on the ground, isn't there?
Prospect 50. We've just come across an accident, so we'll have to stop here. I'll give you an update shortly.
As Aaron and Laura head to the man lying on the road, another paramedic crew has been sent to their original patient.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Motorbike rider, no neck pain, just wrist, knees, got bleeding obviously from his wrist.
So sorry, what happened? Did someone hit him? Did he come off?
Yeah, so he's fallen off his motorbike.
Okay, he's just fallen off, but no one's hit him.
I've been to a lot of motorbike accidents in my career, and a lot of them have resulted in having life-threatening injuries that could have killed them. We had no idea what this was. It definitely raises the pulse a little bit.
Did you fall like both arms like this?
I believe so.
All right, mate. It looks like you've broken both your arms, all right?
So we're thinking he came off to avoid a collision. You're doing very well, mate, all right? I'm going to give you some of the green whistle, OK? Try and get some of that pain.
Things we're looking out for are traumatic head injuries, spinal injuries, any kind of bleeding from his internal organs causing him to bleed out. And that's just the beginning.
We're just mindful that we're in the middle of the road.
So what I think we should do, I think we should lay his head down, take the helmet off, let's try and expose, and then get him on the bed as soon as possible.
Yeah. How much pain are you in out of 10?
Quite a bit.
All right, cool.
You can tell you're in a lot of pain.
I look at both his wrists and his ankle, and they're all pointed in the wrong direction from what they should be. Those injuries must be causing excruciating pain. It's lucky we got here when we did.
We have to get you on a bed.
Yeah, I know.
And that's probably going to really hurt.
With night falling, it's turning into a hectic evening in Adelaide. Newly qualified intensive care paramedic Hannah is on her way to another critical emergency.
So we have been called to help with an 88-year-old patient who is having APO, so basically some fluid on the lungs. This condition in the elderly can be quite serious and life-threatening in some cases.
The elderly patient is suffering from a racing pulse and sky-high blood pressure.
This person could literally be running out of breath in the time that it takes me to get to the job, and it could be as serious as a respiratory or a cardiac arrest.
Knock, knock. Oh.
Hello? Hello, mate. My name's Hannah. What's happening?
So this is Barry. He's 88 years old. He actually has a history. He's got a pacemaker and an AICD in.
Yep.
So this afternoon he's had quite a few runs of tachycardic episodes where he's able to feel his pulse. He's beating quite fast.
Yeah.
I've had a good listen and he's got widespread crackles.
Okay.
Yeah. And a systolic of about 190, 200.
Oh, wow, okay.
A normal systolic blood pressure is just 120. At 200, Barry's is dangerously high.
1 minute I could be looking at Barry alive and well, and the next minute we could be looking at Barry dead. Fluid on the lungs. This is equivalent of essentially drowning while conscious.
So even though he's presenting as reasonably okay in the seated position, it's obviously not going to take much to push him into a flash APO. If you're hearing crackles, he's hypertensive, he's got low sats, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It can come that quickly.
So what Barry needs is GTN through an infusion into his vein. This is going to take the pressure off his struggling heart and to hopefully reverse some of that fluid entering into his lungs and making it very difficult to breathe.
All right, Barry. And what's your name? Betty and Barry. What a matching pair of names. Not quite, but like a similar premise, like fluid backing up onto the lungs. Yeah, it's not very good.
Betty is clearly distraught. This is not the first time she's had to call an ambulance to save the life of her soulmate.
I'm feeling very anxious, very worried. Barry is the kindest person I've ever met. He's the best partner anyone could have. I don't think I could love anyone more. He's made my life so happy. And we love each other.
This looks scary, don't worry about it. So we're gonna chuck your medicine in here. So Betty's looking at me for answers, and I can see that she is absolutely terrified and really concerned that she might be watching Barry die. I need to get this drug in, and I need to get it in fast because essentially Barry is suffocating.
Darling, open your eyes. Hello? Hello?
At a city railway station, Nee and Carlos are desperately trying to revive their unconscious patient.
Let's get some O2 now. Let's get a non-breather, please.
Do you want non-breathe?
Yes, please.
The paramedics are almost certain the woman has overdosed on heroin.
Let's get some oxygen now, because she's just doing some apneic breathing.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Let's pop that on.
Do you want a pen torch?
As her brain stops sending messages to her body, the size of the patient's pupils reveal just how much danger she's in.
Well, she's got pinpoint pupils. Yeah. I might need actually assist her ventilation.
Yeah, this is a period of apnea.
Can we get an ETA on the IC, please?
They're losing her. And Carlos radios to check on the arrival of backup.
Can we grab an ETA on the IC, please?
They're just passing the RAR right now.
Roger, thank you.
Darling, can you open your eyes?
This is Nee's first overdose patient. Team leader Nathan and intensive care paramedic Lawrence have been called in for support.
We've got this young female. She was found by the staff about 15 or so minutes ago just in the cubicle. There are needles in and around her, so they haven't actually seen her inject, but we're highly suspecting that she has. Heart rate's 96, blood pressure 160/90, and that's all we've gotten so far.
Her respirate's not the greatest.
No, and pinpoint pupils.
I think let's just assist her.
Breathing? Yep.
Yeah.
People will inject this terrible drug into any vein that they can find. This includes their arms, which are easy to find, and their legs, and go to extreme lengths as well and inject it into their eyes.
So I reckon we might even need naloxone for this one.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, let's get IV access for that one.
Cool.
The potent medication naloxone will immediately reverse the effects of the drug and allow the patient to breathe again on their own.
Didn't get that one, Carlos?
Nah, no line on this side. A lot of scar tissue.
Trying.
Their patient's arm shows signs of multiple injections, but the team is struggling to find a usable vein.
Circulation's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, strong radial.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the woman's condition spirals downwards.
She's doing her breath every like 30 seconds. I'm not happy with that. Breathing at a rate of 1 every 30 seconds is not feasible for anyone living. We need to get on top of this breathing, otherwise she will die in front of us.
Darling, open your eyes.
200, no, 220. That is very high, mate. So we're gonna need to keep that infusion going, and we might even need to increase it.
Intensive care paramedic Hannah is urgently infusing life-saving medications into 88-year-old Barry.
You know, we just don't want you to get any worse, Barry, because sometimes even just a little bit of exertion can put fluid onto your lungs, okay?
Barry is literally drowning in the liquid accumulating on his lungs.
A little old couple going about their day when suddenly all hell breaks loose for Barry and Betty. My heart breaks a little for this couple. This job has become much more serious for me, and this job is most certainly life-threatening.
All right, we're ready to go. Betty, we've made a mess. Oh, sorry, love.
No. I think you're absolutely marvellous.
Fluid in the lungs can be quite a shocking condition to have because of how rapid it can go downhill. Down to seconds, a patient can deteriorate into respiratory arrest, which may even disintegrate into a full-on cardiac arrest.
Barry, I'm just going to lean you back for a second, all right? Might feel a bit strange, but I promise I'm not going to drop you.
It's a bit bumpy. So, Alyssa, I'll jump in the back with you. We'll dot him all back up. We'll get a fresh set of obs, and we'll figure out if we need to increase the infusion. Look at your lovely garden.
Yeah. The independent couple still both drive, and Betty will follow the ambulance in her car.
Any chest pain? No chest pain.
No, he only does this so he gets all these lovely girls. Look.
It's a ploy.
All right, lovey.
Take care.
Okay.
Behave
You wanna give me-
yourself. Don't be
I'll
naughty.
I can't be good, I'll be careful.
I know he likes to joke and he makes you laugh a lot. He makes everybody laugh. Now, listen here. Listen here. I have to give you a kiss goodbye.
Oh,
You've
you
got
did.
to be a good boy.
You did.
I had to give him a final kiss. That helped us get through. We watch over each other. We're each other's carers. Thank you, lovely ladies.
You're welcome, Betty.
Thank you. OK, I'll be along later.
All right, love. All right.
So Betty climbs into the back of the truck to give Barry a smooch goodbye, and it's a super sweet moment. I can see that she's still quite stressed out and hoping that this isn't at all the last goodbye for these two. She knows what's happening.
Sounds good. Yeah, she's done this before.
So how long have you been married to Betty?
I haven't.
Oh, a scandal.
Living in sin.
You've been living in sin.
I'll just pull this so his chin's off, and then, yep.
In the middle of a busy road, Aaron and Laura are treating a badly injured motorcyclist.
Now we can start giving you some of this, okay? I might get you to hold this one in his mouth, if that's okay, Fabulous, and I'm going to start cutting some things.
Good Samaritans came to the rider's rescue and are now assisting the paramedics.
I'm looking at this patient's injuries. He's got 2 fractured wrists. One's compound in nature, which means the bone's piercing through the skin, and his ankle is not in alignment at all. He is in excruciating pain.
I'm going to level with you, mate. I think you've broken probably both of your wrists and your left ankle, okay?
That's what I was thinking.
That's what you were thinking? Well, you're very calm. I'm honestly quite shocked.
If that was me, I'd be crying and screaming and he's just sitting there going, I think they're broken. I'm so in shock that I just go, yeah, they are.
Let's get his bag out from underneath him. Keep your head nice and still. Good man.
Okay, we are going to have to cut all your clothes off. We need to expose your legs. We've just got an open fracture here.
Yep. This one's closed, but it's similar in nature.
Do you want maybe to drop some fentanyl?
Yeah.
Fireys are helping keep the scene safe. The paramedics need to get Nick's extreme pain under control before they can move him to the ambulance.
We're just going to strip your shoes off, mate, and I'm going to get a little needle in your arm here.
I don't want to take this shoe off until he's got more pain relief in him.
Might give him some fentanyl, and then if we take that shoe off and roll him, we might give him some ketamine. I'd like to probably straighten that.
Yeah. Do you have any pain in here? This side?
If blood flow is not getting through to Nick's cruelly injured limbs, tissue can die and cause permanent damage.
The injuries to his arms and his legs are so severe that he risks losing them.
Can you feel your leg down here?
And you got 2 kids?
Yeah.
Both under 10?
Both under 10.
Oh, cute.
Where are you in that department with Kate?
In the little... I would like to have kid.
Kid. 1 kid.
Singular, yeah.
Singular.
Yeah, probably 1 kid, I reckon. Maybe 2.
Brand new paramedic partners, Tanya and Ben, have started their night shift and are finding out about each other's families.
They do take a bit of work.
Yeah, and I feel like
But
just
they're
one's
good.
enough.
They're good.
Yeah.
But then you got to have a playmate.
Oh, I got...
You are a bit of a big kid, though.
I am a giant, yeah, a huge kid, yeah. I'll play with them. If they're into Lego, I'm in. So my kid's going to be into Lego.
SA ambulance service, tell me exactly what happened.
It's just my 3-year-old. It's really struggling to get there.
At the Emergency Operations Centre, a concerned mother is asking for help.
Does he have difficulty speaking or crying between breaths?
Yeah, he's screaming.
Tanya, we've got a 3-year-old.
A little one for you.
Patient wheezing, 3-year-old struggling to breathe. That's not ideal.
What are we thinking? Maybe asthma or croup?
I'm thinking this is terrifying. Young kids just brings a whole new level of
Yeah, it
stress
does.
with everything.
The parents will be stressed because
Yeah.
there would be nothing more terrifying than seeing your kids struggling to breathe.
If their airway closes over and they stop breathing, they're going to end up with brain damage. They're going to end up with their whole body just completely shutting down.
Hi, my name's Ben. I got Tanya. What's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren, lovely to meet you. Who are we here for?
This is Louise.
Hey, mate. How are we doing? Louis, do you mind if I have a listen to your back?
Good boy.
Immediately, Ben can hear something worrying.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like croup.
Yeah.
Croup is when an infection in a child's throat causes their small airways to close over.
Hello, Louie. Can I pop this in your ear? Quiet, aren't you, buddy?
I think it's just like so tight in his throat you can actually hear it echoing down into his lungs. Have they ever like had to go into like ICU, or have they ever stayed over in hospital? Oh, he has been.
Stayed a couple nights.
Yeah.
So this is not what I wanted to see, and this is turning into my worst nightmare.
You are taking this like an absolute sham.
What's your name again? Nick. Nick. Well, I'm Aaron.
My name's Laura. We came across you all of a sudden, so we weren't really expecting it.
Laura and Aaron are working on accident victim Nick. The motorcyclist may have life-threatening injuries after crashing his bike.
Oh, sorry, mate. Was that your arm?
My wrist.
Your wrist?
Nick's left ankle and both his wrists have been snapped at horrific angles.
I'm just going to put a little splint on your arm, okay, mate?
When you work as a paramedic, you realise that it doesn't matter what situation you're in or where you are. If you have to do something, you have to do it right there and then.
Can I get you to come around here and tell me just for 1 second?
The major fear for the paramedics is loss of blood flow to Nick's injured limbs. Straightening the bones at the scene could help prevent permanent limb and joint damage, so the team has to decide whether they need to intervene before moving him to hospital.
So if we do have to realign his ankle and his hands, it basically means that we have to turn them so that all the bones are in proper alignment, and we're fiddling and we're moving, and it would just be absolutely excruciating.
I think what the best plan is, so we'll give him ketamine, is we roll him, get him on the board, up on the stretcher, and then we straighten the ankle as much as we can, pull it in line.
Ketamine is a powerful painkiller, but it can have side effects.
So what I'm going to do, mate, is I'm going to give you something. It's a drug called ketamine. It can make you feel like a little bit strange and funny. You'll probably be a little bit sort of out of it, per se. What I want you to do is just think of anything that makes you happy during that time, because I'm mindful that when we roll you, you're going to be in quite a bit of discomfort. All right, mate. This will go in over like a minute or so, and you'll just start to feel a little bit strange.
You're doing
Just
really
big,
well, buddy.
deep breaths.
Just focus on your breathing. That's it.
Oh, a scandal. You've been living in sin. Barry.
Don't tell anybody else, will you?
Oh, I wouldn't
I'll tell the
dare.
whole crew.
88-year-old Barry has just made a shock revelation to Hannah about his relationship with Betty.
We've been together about 10 years now.
Oh.
Betty's a widow.
Yeah.
I rented the funeral over at Port Vincent where she lived.
Yeah.
And while I was there, she said, if you want to come over, you're welcome to come.
Yeah.
And so it started from there. I went over
And you were just, a beautiful friendship started.
Yes, it did. But,
In the back of the ambulance, Barry decides to confess to me that they are living in sin as a couple, which I think is absolutely hilarious because marriage is just a piece of paper anyway, and they clearly adore each other and have been together for a decade at this point.
I can consider we're married because you can see an example of what she's like tonight.
She's beautiful.
She loves it, yeah.
Yes, in a way, religious people would say we're living in sin. We decided not to get married because it would cause lots of complications between two families. So it's easier to stay as we are, and as everybody's happy, that's the best way to be.
But while Hannah is delighted with Barry and Betty's beautiful love affair, she's still closely monitoring her vulnerable patient.
Your heart is racing again, Barry, out of nowhere.
That's where I couldn't understand why it did that before.
With Barry's heart rate fluctuating so strongly from fast to slow, it's making me think that there might be something wrong with his pacemaker. Hello, Barry. He is flicking out of like a demand-paced rhythm into like a sinus tachycardia. So he's now sitting at 133. Might be an issue with the pacemaker. Maybe even battery.
It might be due for a change or
due for a service,
battery.
Barry.
Pardon?
Due for a service.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, we're almost ready to go.
Good, okay.
How you feeling, Barry?
Good.
How's my driving?
Yeah, all right, yeah. I no bruises or anything.
Just all right.
Barry's heart rate is soaring again, and I'm very grateful that we have just arrived at the hospital. I know that Betty is following close behind, and I don't want her to receive the news that no loving partner should have to hear. In we go, Barry. Did you actually see her ingest or inject anything?
No.
Nothing?
Other drug paraphernalia, so I don't know. Who knows what else she's got on board?
Yeah.
Nii and Carlos are trying to save the life of a drug overdose victim found in a public toilet at the city railway station.
I don't think it's as simple as naloxone, but I think she needs something to increase her respirator fitness.
Yeah. Yep.
She's in a very critical condition. There's not enough blood and oxygen going to her brain.
Breathing rate's actually coming back up now.
Suddenly, Nii's patient shows signs of consciousness.
She's opening her eyes. Hello? Hello there. We're just the paramedics. Now, what's happened today?
Nii's handling it amazing. Seeing her prioritise what she needs to prioritise and getting it done. She doesn't look stressed at all.
Just some oxygen, darling.
Can you talk to us? It's the paramedics. What have you taken today? That's all right. Just try to relax. There we are.
Her breathing rate's definitely elevated. She now has control over her airway, control over her breathing, which is a big plus for us. And at this point, we know that because she's breathing by herself, she's getting oxygen in and around her body, oxygen to her brain, which is the most vital thing, and that's causing her to regain consciousness, which is a really good sign.
Can you get a rest break for me, Carlos, while you're there?
Yeah, will do.
Just try and relax back, okay? We're here.
It's a rewarding job because we train so much. Like, they drill into us all the basics and training for worst case scenarios. So when we get actually practice on road, it's a bizarre feeling, but it's almost like an accomplishment that we've trained so hard for this exact moment. So it's a rewarding job.
Stay awake for us, all right? I'm gonna get you onto our bed.
We're going to get you up in a second, okay? You got to push hard through your legs, okay?
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Up to
There you go.
The heroin or whatever she's taken can come back and affect her breathing and affect her conscious state again.
On the ambulance stretching, you're going to head off to the hospital, all right? Just rest.
Just relax. You're okay. You're safe.
We need to get her to the hospital quickly.
What we'll do is we'll get a little mask, push some oxygen through it, and that will just push some adrenaline through the mask that he can breathe.
Frightened parents, Lauren and Alex, are watching their toddler Louis gasping for breath. The 3-year-old's tiny windpipe is swollen with the infection croup.
Do you want to see my red light? Give me a thumbs up. Good job.
When I work with kids, I can look into Louis' eyes and sometimes I can see my own children and the fear that Lauren is feeling. It's tough, it's heartbreaking, and it's scary.
Make sure we're all plugged in.
Adrenaline, 1 milligram.
Ben and Tanya are now giving Louis adrenaline through a nebulizer mask. They're hoping it'll reduce the swelling so he can finally suck some air into his lungs.
Do you want to be a superhero? This mask will turn you into a superhero. Who's your favourite? Oh, Batman's pretty cool. Let's go Batman. You be Batman, he can be Robin.
I'll be your
Yeah?
sidekick.
Tanya comes up with this brilliant idea of let's use the nebulizer mask as a Batman mask because Louis loves Batman.
We put it on, Louis goes and Batman comes.
How's that? Oh, you
Yes,
look
Batman.
cool.
Where'd Louis go?
Good boy. Does Batman want to go to the hospital? Yeah?
Yeah?
Awesome.
We could go in the Batmobile. Should we go in the Batmobile?
And it works, and it's the best treatment that I've ever seen.
You got your voice back, look at that.
The change is remarkable. It's like magic. He's up, he's now chatting to us.
Yeah. Do you want to come see the Batmobile?
However, adrenaline doesn't last all that long, so we need to keep an eye on him.
Do you want to see the ambulance lights? Come on then.
Mum Lauren will stay at home with 4-year-old Eddie and her newborn baby girl, while Dad Alex goes with Louis in the ambulance.
Oh. Do you want to say see to your brother? You can come up here and say see you if you want. Here. Don't climb. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You say see ya.
Bye, Lulu. Bye, Eddie.
See you, matey.
Bye.
When Eddie comes up to the back of the ambulance to say goodbye, it pulls at my heartstrings. It's a bond like no other. They love each other, and Eddie is really worried about his younger brother.
We're good to go?
I think so.
Louis, are we good to go?
Do you want to go fast, Louis?
Yeah.
You have to say ready, set, go, please, though. Have to use your mouth.
Set, go.
Can I get a Hulk roar? Excellent. That throat's definitely better.
The team is relieved to arrive at the hospital and give their precious cargo to specialist paediatric doctors.
Look at that. You're already here.
Hello, superstar. How you doing?
On arrival to hospital, I'm expecting the doctors are going to prescribe him some medications to make sure that he's able to breathe and that he doesn't deteriorate.
All right. Are we ready? Should we pull the bed out? Yeah.
So despite how scary this job was initially, Louis is a great kid. He responded really well to our treatment and it's actually turned out to be one of my favourite jobs.
How was it driving the Batmobile? Good? Do we get a thumbs up? Good job.
Come lay back down. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Nia and Carlos have brought a heroin overdose victim back from the brink of death. Now, they need to get her to hospital for further help.
You were barely breathing. Yeah, you nearly stopped breathing, all right?
This lady was quite lucky that a bystander actually saw her slumped against the toilet.
Whatever you've taken's had a bit too much of an effect, all right? Got to let us look after you.
This lady is just super lucky that people actually reached out for help on her behalf.
Okay.
You're okay, mate. You're with the paramedics. You're fine. God.
Cool.
Thank you.
I think this woman definitely had a close call today.
Yeah, just keep her head up.
You're okay.
I was so close to jumping on her chest and giving her cardiac chest compression, so she was very close to dying today.
What have you taken? It's a heroin. Yeah.
Heroin. Okay.
It was intense, it was nerve-wracking, but I think it really helped to have Carlos there, my good mate.
Royal Adelaide, when ICP crew coming to you with a female with carrying a polypharmacy OD, was a GCS of 3, now a GCS of 8.
You just don't know what people are going through. Traumatic past experiences or current experiences. So there's no judgment whatsoever.
You're all right. We're just arriving to the
Just
hospital.
at the hospital, darling, okay? All right?
I think definitely for people like this that do go to hospital, there is hope. There's that light at the end of the tunnel. It's whether or not they really want to really work at it and really get out of that cycle.
Stay right there, darling, okay? Just stay there. We're going to take you inside, okay?
I hope that may be a trigger for her to be like, I was so close to death today that I need to turn my life around. But I do hope that when she does get the help that she needs, that she can see that life is really precious and you You can't take it for granted.
All right, we're gonna roll you across to the side now, okay? All right, on 3, we're gonna roll. 1, 2, 3. Good job, mate, good job. Big breath.
39-year-old motorcyclist Nick has suffered horrific breaks to both his wrists and left ankle.
Doing really well, mate.
With the painkiller ketamine on board, Aaron and Laura can now move Nick to the ambulance.
Good job, mate. You're gonna be lifted up. Just shut your eyes for me. Right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Watch your feet, guys. Tell me when.
Good job, mate. Good job. Big breath. How's your pain out of 10?
I'm hurting.
Yep. Is it better than before?
No.
All right, I'm going to give you some more pain relief in a sec, OK? Doing so well.
The team must now decide whether they need to reset Nick's smashed bones at the accident scene.
I mean, it's up to you with the wrists.
This one is quite significant.
So Laura and I are talking about whether or not we realign and splint the ankle when the patient's under the effects of ketamine.
He's got bilateral pulsing, but I don't think this one needs pulling.
fair.
He can move his toes, yeah. It's warm. He's got a pedal pulse. I'm not going to try and splint that because it's not even going to work.
OK.
Laura brings up a really valid point. He can feel his foot, he's got a pedal pulse, and it's not neurovascularly compromised, so we decide not to splint the ankle.
Some good news for Nick, but there's no doubt he's going to need major orthopaedic surgery. So Laura wants to make sure he has someone waiting at the hospital.
Is there anyone that you need us to call for you?
My mum.
Your mum? Yep, sure.
She's going to freak, mate.
I know.
When I ask him, you know, who can I call for you? And he asked me to call his mum, which is so beautiful.
Hi, Mez. My name's Laura. I'm a paramedic with SA Ambulance Service. I don't want you to freak out, but I'm just calling you to let you know that your son, Nick, has just been in a motorbike accident.
Nick's mum was obviously devastated. She even mentioned that she had been listening to the radio and had heard that there was a traffic accident and that the traffic was banking up.
He's conscious, he's breathing, he's talking to us. No, that's okay. See you there. Bye. Alrighty. She may have used a swear word in there. She's okay. She just wants to make sure you're okay. She's going to meet us there.
To get that call would have just been heartbreaking.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, guys.
Tell Laura.
Yeah,
that.
blame me. That was
Blame
my
Laura
fault.
for that.
I don't know how to drive Laura.
Yes, I'll take it. I'll cop
I'm
it.
sorry, I'm joking.
No, I'll
apologise for
have
that.
If it makes you feel better, you can yell at me.
Oh, my ankle.
Hey, that's a free ticket to yell at her. I'd be yelling.
Oh, my wrists. Oh, it hurts.
It's no secret that I love motorbikes, but I regularly go to motorbike accidents at work, and parts of me, when you see accidents like this, it puts that little bit of sick feeling in your stomach.
Doing well, mate.
We're literally pulling up right now. Got a few more little bumps and then we're there.
As we're getting closer to hospital, I can see it in Nick's face. He knows the severity of injuries he's got. He knows he's gonna have to have surgery. He's gonna lose his independence. And I do, I feel for him. His life's gonna change.
As we're wheeling our patient into the hospital, we're still not 100% sure if we have discovered the extent of all his injuries. He suffered a major trauma. There's all the things that we can't see, like internal bleeding, rib fractures, like lung collapses, all those things that we still can't see that need to be investigated.
Two weeks ago, Ben and Tanya were called to little Louis. The infection croup had swollen his tiny airways and the 3-year-old was struggling to breathe. Adrenaline was administered through a nebulizer, but Louis still needed to go to emergency.
Don't go through my legs! No!
Go, 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 go!
Fortunately, after several hours in hospital being treated for croup, Louis returned home to his brother and little sister Goldie.
Don't let her go. Okay, I gotcha.
But his parents are still recovering from the close call.
It's a mother's worst nightmare to feel that you can't help your child.
I don't know, I don't like to fear the worst, but it's always sort of like subconsciously in the back of your mind, what if I didn't call the ambulance? I'm glad we did it.
Louie, come here.
Go to Mummy, shit.
My message to other parents, if they're feeling unsure, it is always better to be safe than sorry. You never ever second guess the health of your child. They will never ever make you feel like you shouldn't have called. Just call them. Yeah, just call them.
I'm gonna level with you, mate. I think you've broken probably both of your wrists and your left ankle.
When motorcyclist Nick crashed his bike, the 39-year-old broke both his wrists and left ankle. Laura and Aaron were concerned Nick could suffer long-term damage and loss of movement from the horrific injuries.
Okay.
Good job.
Yep.
3 long, painful months and several surgeries later, Nick is finally back on his feet.
Should we do one more lap?
One more.
Stand up tall, stand up tall. Straighten that knee.
It was amazing. Taking my first step, it took 10 weeks to be able to put my first foot forward, albeit with a walking stick. Thinking that I may never actually walk again, to be able to take that first step, yeah, words can't describe it.
It's looking good. Well done. Keep going.
Recovery has been very tough. You know, learning how to walk again, learning how to pick up a fork and feed myself and pick up a pen and write. It's been a very long road. I feel very, very lucky. I think somebody was watching over me on that day. Aaron and Laura were amazing. Yeah, I think without them, I may not be here today. Almost there, on the home stretch now.
That's right. 80 steps a minute. I reckon you might be able to get up to 500 by the end of the 6 minutes.
That'll be a new record.
Despite the nightmare he's been through, Nick is not giving up on what he loves.
The thought of to not ride again never crossed my mind, and even to this day, I still can't wait to get back on and go for a ride. Yeah, there is no better feeling.
3, 2, done. Good job.
Thank God.
200, no, 220. That is very high, mate.
88-year-old Barry was drowning in the fluid on his lungs when intensive care paramedic Hannah rushed to his rescue.
Do you have any chest pain? No chest pain.
Barry's partner, Betty, put on a brave face as she kissed her soulmate goodbye.
Your heart is racing again, Barry.
But as Hannah monitored Barry, he made a surprising confession.
So how long have you been married to Betty?
I haven't.
Oh, a scandal.
I'll hold that. You pull the scarf up, that's it.
It was touch and go in hospital, but after 10 days, Barry was finally well enough to come home to Betty.
That's a good reading.
Yep.
123.
Doctors diagnosed a thickening of Barry's heart wall.
The medication I was given there was able to bring me back to as near as normal. The treatment worked. Oops.
Oh,
there you are. Oops. All I can say is without Hannah and the other paramedics, I might not be here today. It's close as that. I'm having a cuppa. I thought you might like one too.
Thank you, lovey. That's beautiful. Oops.
Now on new medication, Barry is looking forward to many more happy times together with Betty.
Betty and I have a love for each other that takes us through week by week. We never ever go to sleep without a good night kiss. You're off to bed, eh? And usually, if she's lucky, she got one in the morning too. Because I love her. Love conquers all. Sleep tight? Okay.